Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches, and she jogged back, dragging Toto with her. He had fastened onto her long ears with his sharp little teeth. So here the word haunches means back of the donkey. So the grandfather hit Nana on the back in order to stop it, and Nana jumped back with a jerk, with a jockey, and Toto was dragged along with her. Toto and Nana never became friends. In this way, the monkey and the donkey never became friends. A great treat for Toto during cold winter evenings was the large bowl of warm water given him by grandmother for his bath. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand, then gradually step into the bath, first one foot, then the other, as he had seen me doing, until he was into the water up to his neck. Once comfortable, he would take the soap in his hands or feet and rub himself all over. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. If anyone laughed at him during this performance, Toto's feelings would be hurt and he would refuse to go on with his bath. One day, Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. So in winter season, Toto enjoyed having a warm bath. He would pretend to be selfish, and before starting his bath, he was checking the temperature of the water as well. He was copying the writer, okay, and he also started stepping into the tub, one foot at a time, then the another. Finally, he would sit in the water with his face out of it. Then he would rub himself with soap. Look at the funny things made by the Toto. So he would rub himself with soap. He was cleaning himself, taking help of a soap. When the wet water became cold, he would run out of it to the stove in the kitchen, in order to dry himself. Toto got sometimes annoyed if he was laughed upon. If someone laughed upon him, Toto got annoyed. He would get hurt and then refuse to take bath also. The writer is recollecting an incident when Toto had almost boiled himself. A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea, and Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. Finding the water just warm enough for a bath, he got in. With his head sticking out from the open kettle, this was just fine for a while, until the water began to boil. Toto then raised himself a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again. He continued hooping up and down for some time, until the grandmother arrived and hauled him half boiled out of the kettle. If there is a part of the brain especially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. He was always tearing things to pieces. Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. So here, one day what happened? In a large kettle, in that kettle water was boiling on the stove. Toto suddenly climbed up to the stove and removed the lid from it, removed the lid from the kettle. He felt that the water was warm enough to have a bath, okay, to take a bath. He entered the kettle with his head out of it. Look at the stupidity of Toto. When the water started boiling, it became hot for Toto. He started feeling the heat. He thought of coming out of the kettle, but as the temperature outside was cold for him, he stayed inside the kettle. Toto was keeping on jumping in the kettle for a while. He was enjoying a little bit, but suddenly, when the writer's grandmother arrived, that shook the half-boiled monkey out of the kettle. If there is a part of the brain especially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. He was always tearing things into pieces. Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. Look at the funny elements in this paragraph. One day, what happened? There is a part of the brain especially devoted to mischief. The part was largely developed in Toto. The sentence means that if there is a part in our brain that circulates, that governs our ability to create mischief, then that part in Toto's brain was highly developed, okay, as he had great capability to do mischievous things. He was always busy doing mischievous things. He was always busy doing mischiefs. Whenever the writer's aunts passed him, he tried to tear their dresses. One day at lunchtime, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. We entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice. My grandmother screamed and Toto threw a plate at her. One of my aunts rushed forward and received a glass of water in the face. When grandfather arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his exit through our window. We found him in the branches of the jackfruit tree, the dish still in his arms. He remained there all afternoon, eating slowly through the rice, determined on finishing every grain. And then, in order to spite grandmother, who had screamed at him, he threw the dish down from the tree and chattered with delight when it broke into 100 pieces. So one day during at lunchtime, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. The writer here is recollecting another incident when Toto created a lot of stupid things during the lunchtime. At the lunchtime, a dish of rice was placed on the dining table. When the family reached to eat, they found Toto started eating it. The grandmother of the writer screamed at Toto, and in response, he threw a plate at her. When the aunts tried to catch Toto, he threw a glass of water in their face. When the grandfather arrived, Toto left the place through a window with the dish of rice along with him. Toto remained out the entire afternoon. He sat on a branch of a jackfruit tree, and he was so determined to eat all the rice. As the grandfather had screamed on him, he wanted to annoy her further, and so after eating the rice, he threw the dish, and the dish broke into several pieces. Obviously, Toto was not that sort of pet we could keep for long. Even grandfather realized that we were not well to do and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains and wallpaper. So grandfather found the Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. So finally the grandfather came to know that Toto was not suitable to be kept at home, isn't it? They could not afford the frequent losses of dishes, plates, glass, etc. He tore clothes, curtains, wallpapers and broke many dishes. So the grandfather sold Toto back to the same Tonga driver for a sum of 3 rupees. That is all about the story and its explanation.